Hey everybody, welcome back to Matthew Kelly Pottery. I hope you are doing well. Today I'm going to show you how to make a planter with the tray attached to the bottom. Let's go. Alright, here we go. This is a wood-fired traditional style planter with a separate tray, and I've probably made most of my planters that I've made this style, but I thought for the interest of you all that I would make a video today talking about the ones with the tray attached to the bottom, because this is pretty straightforward. You make the pot, you put a hole in the bottom, you make a tray separate, and you fire them, and then you put them together. But I thought the trickiness of making them in one piece might be more intriguing and interesting for you to learn how to do that. Like I said, because if you know how to throw a pot, you probably can do these two here, but you still may struggle with how to make them in one piece. And I probably make them mostly like this because I have some customers that do not want a tray. And so if I make them separate, number one, they can pick out the pot they want, the size tray they want, and it's all up to them. They get to pick the two, and I don't charge separate for the tray and the planter. But also making them in one piece would probably save space in the kiln. So it's something I've thought about in that aspect as well. So like I said, today I just thought I'd show you how to make them in one piece. So I have some 3-pound clay balls over here. I'm probably going to start out by cutting those in half to make a 1.5-pound planter, and then maybe we'll make a large one at the end as well. Now, depending on the size or the height and width of the planter that you would like to make is going to really determine how wide and how tall of a centered clay ball you want to start with. I'm just going to measure this so you'll see this is about a maybe a little over 4-inch wide centered clay ball that I'm starting with. And what you want to do to make this planter with the attached tray is to, once you got the clay ball centered, is to come up probably about a 1/2 inch from the bottom on the outside, and you want to push in, separating some of this clay down here at the bottom that will be the tray eventually. You don't want to make that too thin. You want to make sure you leave enough clay there because you're going to want to curve that up and maybe pull that a little bit to make the tray eventually. But we don't want to do that yet. We just want to leave that flat clay there and then come back to it near the end. Alright, now we're going to take this top portion here. It's already a little bit concave there in the center. We're going to push down in the center here. Try to go to about where we've separated that clay there. That thickness, maybe a little bit down a little bit more. And go ahead and open up the clay ball. We don't want to go too wide either. We want to leave it, like I said, that all depends on what shape planter you're making and how wide the clay ball was when it was centered to begin with. Alright, so now that I have that, now we want to push back in here at the base again. And we're going to start shaping the inside of the planter, or start shaping the main part of the planter here with this clay that we've separated and opened. I like to have my planters with a pretty thick rim, so I'm going to go ahead and, before I pull this too much, I'm going to flatten that rim out, and then each time I pull, I'm going to stop just under that thick part at the top and won't pull all the way through. Alright, now that I have that pulled, we're going to go ahead and shape the inside of the planter as well before we do anything else. I'm going to make it so that it's got a little curve in at the base and then kind of gets round up here near the top, and then comes back in and has that thick rim there. Alright, now that we've got that done, I'm going to go ahead and clean out a little bit of excess water, clean it off. And now before I make, what I like to do before I make the tray, I like to go ahead and put the hole in the bottom for the water to drain into the tray. I don't use a tool for that. I just use my finger. On this size planter, I probably don't want to use my index finger. It'll probably make too big of a hole, so I'm going to use my pinky. I'm just going to push at the base right here. I'm going to push my finger all the way through to the inside, and then I'm going to reach in on the inside and kind of rip off that extra clay that it kind of pushes in as I do that. And I'll show this from a couple different angles so that you can see it. But for now, like I said, I'm just going to take my finger, pinky at the base. I'm going to push through to the inside. Got that hole there, and then I'm going to come on the inside and just rip that extra clay off that I pushed up. Kind of come in, smooth that down a little bit and around. Oops. All right. Now that I have the hole there, now I can actually come and make the tray on the outside. I'm actually just going to use my rib, add a little bit of water, and then I'm going to push my rib up underneath that and lift it up using my left hand to kind of support it. And then I can also use my rib, kind of help clean up that clay around on the back underneath it. Just want to lift that up, make a little tray there, clean the excess water off, and boom. Now we have a planter with an attached tray. Alright, now we're going to throw one more. I'm going to throw a 3-pound planter with the attached tray, and we are going to try to get you up close, as up close and personal to making that hole in the bottom as I can. I'm going to try to get the camera right down on the inside of this one. I figured it'd be easier on the 3-pound than the 1.5-pound ones to get the camera really in close to see what it looks like when I push that clay through. It's going to be really hard to see when I go in to reach and rip that clay off on the inside, but we're going to do it and just see how much you can see and get you in there as close as possible so that you can see it. Alright, so 3 pounds of clay, and also I didn't measure the finished ones. I'll tell you here in just a minute too. I'll measure the finished at least the wet size of the planters that I've thrown so far, and give you an idea of the size of those that I've made. Alright, so this 3-pound clay ball is about 5 to 5.5 inches wide. After centering, I'm going to come up. I'm probably going to leave a bit more clay on this one. I want to make sure I got enough clay there for the tray. Alright, I'm going to go down in the center. Do the same thing about thickening up that rim there before I start pulling. And then when I pull, I come up just underneath that rim, and then I pretty much stop pulling right underneath it so I can leave all that thickness on the rim there. Now this planter is probably going to be a bit smaller than the other 3-pound planters I've made, because of course the ones I make without the attached tray, you know, I have to make that separately, and all that clay that would that's going to be here in the tray would normally be put right into this planter, but alright, I've got that pulled about as much as I can. Just give it a slight curved shape here. Alright, now's about the time to make that hole in the bottom. I think will use my index finger for making this one, but we'll move the camera, get you right inside there as close as we can for making that hole in the bottom. Alright, I don't think I've had as much time for a setup of a shot as I have for this one, so I hope you learn from it. I hope you appreciate it, because this one was a pain in the behind to set up. But either way, here we go. Alright, I'm gonna try to maybe do it on this side over here. I know the orientation doesn't matter to you, but alright, so I'm gonna use my index finger, and I'm gonna of course got it wet. I'm gonna push through at the base there, so you can see that right here at the bottom. You'll see that clay starting to protrude out, and then my finger comes all the way through. And then I usually take my other hand or reach in and just kind of pinch that clay that came through right there, pinch that off, and then I'm left with a little bit of a rough clay there, but I can kind of come in, supporting it with my finger that I pushed through. I'm going to come back in and smooth that up with my left hand here, and then I can come back and smooth that with sponge as well. And usually I actually will turn it and smooth it with a sponge like that there. And now we'll go back to finishing the tray. I will say the advantage of the bigger planters is that there's more room for your hand to fit down here to shape the tray. The smaller one, it gets pretty tight down in that little space there. But and clean the excess water out of there as well. And I must have bumped that a little bit, but I think we'll be okay. Alright, so let's measure this one, finished size. Of course, wet is about 6.5 tall and about 9 inches wide. I did measure the small planters, and they're about 4 3/4 to 5 inches tall and about 6.5 inches wide. So I hope that helps you for a size reference, and I just told you the size of that one here just a second ago. So like I said, as always, I hope this video helped you. I hope it inspired you. I hope you learned something, and especially if you're interested in making planters with a tray attached, I hope this video really does help you. And if it does help you, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Share this video with some friends, comment below. All those things help my channel. Believe it or not, if you comment, if you share it, if you like it, all those things will help my channel grow. And so if you care about helping me on that side of it as well, feel free to comment, share. I don't respond to every comment, but I do read them all. So I really appreciate your feedback, and appreciate all your support on all my social media. And if you're interested in any of my other social media, it's in the description. And anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you for all your support, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you are doing well. Today I'm going to show you how to make a planter with an attached tray. All right, well there you have it. I hope you learned something. I hope you. Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you are doing well. Today I'm going to show you how to make a planter with an attached tray. Attached tray. All right, well there we go. Alrighty, here we go. Today, alrighty. All right. Oh. I hope it helps you with that process and makes it a bit easier for you. And anyway, thank you for all your support on my channels, on my social media, and my channels. Hey everybody, welcome back to Matthew Kelly Pottery. I hope you are doing well. Today I'm going to show you how to make a planter with an attached tray. Attached tray. Hey everybody, welcome back to Matthew Kelly Pottery. A planter with a tray attached. Maybe I should say that.